Hey everyone, Keenan Gray here from DyeStat.com, bringing you another installment of DyeStat Discussions. For me, it is one of my favorite weekends of the entire collegiate season. It is Nuttycombe weekend, and a lot of the top teams and individuals will be in Madison, Wisconsin on Friday. Of course, you can catch all the action on runnerspace.com and Big Ten Plus. One of those athletes, Hannah Gapes, out of North Carolina State University, her and the number 2 Wolf Pack will be heading to Madison to see if they can come away with a team title, but also continue to make some noise here in this early season. And of course, if anybody has seen what they've done so far, a great outing at the Lakefront Invitational. And as I mentioned, trying to keep this momentum rolling. So Hannah, really appreciate your time. How are things in Raleigh? It seems like things are going in the right direction right now.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Things in Raleigh are going very well. Yeah, like you said, I mean, we just had a great outing at Loyola. Yeah, things are stringing together. We aim obviously to peak at nationals, but it's really confident boosting that we have just such a great group of girls working together and yeah, I think that is kind of the key to our early success. We didn't have everybody on the line at Loyola, but there's some really good training groups forming, and some really great groups that are able to group up in races and work together, and it's only going to get better throughout the season. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Seems like within the entire program, there's just so much momentum, whether it was, during the track season, especially at the World Championships with, Angelina Napoleon representing you guys there in Tokyo. And then, of course, you start off the season with a bang at Lakefront Invitational. Just, what are you seeing just from where this team was at in the fall compared to where it's at now?
Yeah, so we've had lots of like I was saying before, I mean, Laurie is a very individual based coach. She puts our individual needs first. And obviously we're a collective team. We're able to work together in workouts, but she really prioritizes what we need. And my needs are different to Grace's needs, are different to Angelina's needs. We're all on very different training kind of outlooks. Angelina cross trains a lot more. I do less mileage than Grace, and we all work together in the workout the exact same way. So it's kind of just getting collectively what the individuals need, and then to be able to team up and group together and work together in these workouts only helps when we're getting on the start line in workouts and we're able to find each other in our red uniform. And yeah, it's a big part of our confidence is through workouts. We work hard on the track and on the grass every Tuesday and Friday, and Laurie does a really good job at being able to control us and make sure that we're ready to race. But at the same time, we're just a very hardworking group, and we love to work hard together, push each other, and yeah, that's kind of how our performances roll out throughout the season.
It really showed at the Lakefront Invitational. I mean, 34 points. And again, this was without Grace Hartman, an All-American last year, Angelina Napoleon, a world finalist in the steeplechase. And on top of that, you guys debuted some nice uniforms this year
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So tell me what you guys took away from, competing in Chicago was not only a first chance, kind of see what this year's team looks like, but also a first chance to see, freshman Sadie Englehart. A lot of people are really anticipating to see what Sadie was able to do, and she had a really solid showing in that first race of the season.
Yeah, for sure. Chicago is always a really fun trip for us. We get to spend a few days beforehand, like exploring the city. We did a little bit of shopping together. We went out for Italian and got some pizza the night before. So it's just a really fun time. We get like another opportunity to bond together as a team. And I think that really helps just keeping the balance throughout these courses of the season when we're racing, and obviously we have a lot of freshmen and sophomores just figuring out how to race, and I think it really helps just having balance of, oh no, like this is another race, let's treat it like a workout. It's earlier in the season, and again, like I said before, like we have so much potential. The individuals that we have can group up together, and they're all killing it in the workout space. And if you can do that at NC State, you can really transform your races and your ability. So yeah, Chicago was a great opener. The flat course helps, just to see where we're all at, and kind of checking in every 2K. It was a three lap loop. So yeah, I know we're all very excited to get on the hills, but it was a good kind of stake in the sand, to see where we're at, and where we can push, and it definitely wasn't 100% across the board. Like everybody had different things that they could work on, but to have that result, 34 points, I think it was just phenomenal, and really gives us a lot of confidence moving forward throughout the season.
So if 1919 is not 100%, what is 100% then for a 6K time for you?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm very excited to kind of push myself throughout the season. I've had um a fair amount of setbacks here at NC State, but I've just been like kind of biding my time, and waiting, playing the waiting game, and I feel like through my injuries, like I was unfortunately put out in track season,
Mhm.
I still managed to find ways to be able to improve myself for the next season. Like it's the
Mhm.
worst way to be able to mentally improve, but I really find strength in working alone, and doing those cross trains alone just gets you, yeah, a lot of motivation, and makes you realize how grateful it is when you're able to line up with these girls, and be at practice and around all the time. So yeah, I'm coming into the season with kind of a newfound um just excitement, and yeah, just my potential has risen, I think, just through all of these cross training sessions, and the pool workouts, and all of that. So yeah, who knows? We'll see. I'm just really excited. And yeah, I love the hills. So I'm excited to compete with some of the top girls there.
Hey, you're going to get it at Nuttycombe this weekend because that's one of the hillier courses in the United
Yeah.
States. But I will, as we go down here in this interview, I will talk about some of the momentum that you've brought, not only from the cross season last year, but also, recently winning a national championship in New Zealand. I want to go back to your freshman year at NC State, the last time that the Wolfpack won a national title in 2023. I mean, you entered a program that was on the cusp of creating this dynasty. Not that the dynasty was already there. He went back to back before you even came into school there. But,
Yeah.
that was the one year that thought, who knows if NC State is going to win this three-peat because it seemed like everything went wrong at the most possible times. Kelsey Camille was a last minute dropout because she had an injury. Caitlin Toohey was not at 100% that day in Charlottesville. And that for you was really your first chance, to get a taste of what the NCAA cross country scene was like, along with, Grace Hartman. What'd you kind of take away from that national championship meet? Because I'm sure there was a lot of emotions, both, good and bad, but at the end of the day, you guys still won a national title.
Yeah, for sure. So I was also injured back then. So I kind of got to witness like the whole build up from the sidelines, which was equally as inspirational. And it's just a testament to all the hard work that they put into each other throughout the season, and to get such a strong, tight-knit group together to perform like they did on the day. I mean, it's never 100% on race day, and if it is, it's unique. So yeah, for them to line up and not all have like totally like 100% days, and still to get that done was just such an inspiration, and I think that formed just kind of the base layer to like, oh my gosh, I'm at this program. Like if they can do that, like what could my potential hold in the future, and these girls stuck around for a while, and even when they left, it's like they're still in Raleigh, and we get to easy run with them, and work out with some of them every day, and it's like, it's just such a unique it's such a unique team that I'm a part of, because we just get to kind of see this emphasis on what these girls put into the dedication of forming that performance. And as a leader now, being a senior, it's like, oh, how can I kind of not mirror, but be alike, like the Caitlin Tuohys and the Kelseys, just leading the team to those performances. It just forms like a lot of inspiration
Yeah.
from the ground
And
up.
it was a senior heavy team too, as I mentioned. Caitlin, Kelsey was not able to run, but you had, Sam Bush in the lineup, Amaris Tynisma there as well. I mean, and I'm looking at athletic.net. It says you're a freshman, which I don't know if, academically you were a
Yes,
freshman.
yes. So I thought you were talking about 2021. So yes, 2023 I did race. And that again was just a testament to dedication throughout the season. None of
Mhm,
it was perfect, and it never is.
mhm.
And like, it came down to Leah dipping at the line. Like, being in that race, I was sick as well. Like, I blood, sweat, and tears to get across that line, and I was proud of my performance, and so were all of the girls. It was just very, like, an iconic performance, to be honest. And we're not trying to replicate everything, but it's like seeing that and knowing that we can do that gives us so much hope for the future.
Was that conversation with Coach Hennis like before the race? Because I'm sure that you guys knew going in, oh geez, we got all these issues we're dealing with. We got people injured. We got people sick. People like me, the media, other teams, they don't know what's going on inside
Mhm.
that tent prior to you guys getting on the start line.
No, yeah. So Laurie is a very, very calm person, and in any times of stress, she's always at least trying to be the most relaxed.
Right.
And she wasn't, and I could tell that. But at the same time, we all had this common goal of working together. We know what to do. We work out together every Tuesday and Friday. Where there's no miracles that happen on race day, and the training's not going to go away. All we can control is what we can control, essentially. So I was in there. I was just gonna run my little heart out, and we had, there were a few. So Leah and Grace came in the top 5, and they just had really amazing performances, and I think that, that helped them, that helped this team score. And it was just so cool to see these girls my age, and even Leah younger, just like, oh my goodness, let's see what we can do out there, and they made it happen on the day.
Well, for you, kind of as I said, your first opportunity to get an idea of what a national championship meet was like in the United States. Because I'm
Yeah,
sure, growing up in New Zealand, you have ran against some of the best competition in your country.
yeah,
Completely different than racing against, a lot of colleges, 31 colleges, of course, at the NCAA meet. I mean, it was a 1 point difference. I mean,
yeah.
like the emotions that went back and forth, because a lot of people assume that NAU was just going to run away with it, but on that day, North Carolina State decided, no, we're still North Carolina State, and we're going to go out there and try to three-peat. So, was that the idea? It's like we are the two-time defending champions. Like, why is everybody doubting us? Like, we're still a good team.
We had hiccups throughout that season. We weren't number one, and I think not being number one helped us find out our aggression. And it's like, oh, well, we're not ranked number one. Rankings don't matter in the end. Like, let's just see what happens on the day. And even with all the hiccups, like, we ran for each other. We were able to team up. And that's super helpful, kind of joining up, passing a group of people. Like, you're cutting down a lot of points there. So yeah, especially just being able to see each other throughout the race. And we have so many staff and so many support people that came out on the day. It was momentous in how they helped out. And again, we're a very strong strength-based team. So yeah, that course was pretty gnarly. I never really figured out where I was at all during that race. Like, we ran through it the day before, I was lost. But yeah, no, we kill the hills, and we have a great workout that we do here at Wake Med, and it's always fun to get out there with the girls.
Compared to the last two NCAA courses, which was, I believe, Tallahassee and Stillwater, those were all downhill finishes. Compared to Charlottesville, which was basically an uphill
Yeah.
climb to the end. I
Yeah.
mean, for you, and I didn't get a chance to see you finish at the line, but for you, was that one of the harder finishes that you've had in your career as far as like, just having to climb uphill in that last, what, 400, 500
Yeah.
meters or so?
Yeah, I mean, you're redlining and you're going beyond whatever VO2 max is, before the line, and so it's like I always try to leave a little bit of energy at the end, but man, that last, especially 2 years ago, that hill just absolutely killed me. But at the same time, we practice that, and we do hill strides every week. And so I think that really helped. I think I picked off a few people, and yeah, but I just try to channel, like, no, this is my strength and this is what I'm here to do. This is
Yeah.
the last 40 meters of the race. Like, my eyes are going cross-eyed, but let's do this.
Like, it's true cross country when you're having to finish uphill for that last bit of the race. And I'm
For
sure you've
sure.
known that having raced in New Zealand and I'm sure in Europe as well. But,
Yeah.
moving forward into the next season, you lose all these seniors. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, is this North Carolina State reign over with? I mean, I'm sure, that next fall not as many people were talking about the Wolfpack being the team to beat. Not everybody was, counting on NC State to be a podium team, perhaps, just because of the amount of seniors that you guys lost.
Yeah.
How did you guys approach the next season, especially for you and Grace and Leah, of course? Like, there's, all of this, not necessarily pressure. It's a different type of feeling knowing that not everyone's talking about this group in particular.
Yeah, so we go into every single season. Laurie always says we're not defending anything. Um
Hmm.
and we really weren't. I mean, we had a whole new group of girls. We had different mindsets, different people, different interests, different balances to balance. And so we kind of prepared to be like, this is our growth season. Let's find success and let's see where that lies, no matter where it is on the ranking. I mean, we wanna win always, but we had so many new girls in, and we were really, really happy with 8th. Like, we had some great individual performances, and overall, just our team rallied to get to the line that day, and I was very proud of how everybody did, and it kind of it's a different feeling, obviously, than winning, but it's like it felt very emotional, just how far the girls had come throughout the season and how far they will go, this season, and seeing that evolve is really, really unique, and being a leader on the team, it's just like, "Oh, this is so fun to see these girls like I was when I was younger, like, just giving it their all and learning so much throughout the season, and it's kind of forming into what our season will be this season. So, yeah, lots of growth, a growth season for sure.
So you've been on opposite sides of the spectrum then in terms of, winning a national title, but then also being really proud of the fact that you guys finished 8th as a group,
Mhm.
not to mention the fact you and Grace took leaps and bounds ahead of where you guys were at as freshmen in your sophomore seasons, and not only earned All-American finishes, but were top 10 individual finishers and arguably one of the fastest NCAA races of all time. I mean, we're talking, Doris Lemgole, Pamela Koske out there battling back and forth, and then you have the NC State duo and yourself and Grace. I mean, where did you think, you really took that next step as far as training wise and just the confidence? Because I'm just looking at your stats right now. I mean, you went leaps and bounds, as I said, from where
Yeah.
you were at your freshman year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I was saying before, like the alumni that the girls like Caitlin Toohey and the Hannah Steelmans and the Kelseys and stuff like that are all the catalyst of like those performances. Just the inspiration that I got from seeing where they'd come from and how they'd move throughout the program, how they lead throughout the program, and how they fought for their position every single race. I remember a track race actually. Kelsey ran a 10K and she was hurting from like 800 meters in. And she rallied through that entire 10K and performed very well, actually. And that day I was like, she just really, really wants to compete for NC State and enjoy what she's doing, even though it's hell in the moment. But she wants to finish and be proud of her performance in the end. And it's like, if she can do that, like anyone can fight. And Grace and I worked really well together last season and formed like a great dynamic. And so, yeah, she also was very, very helpful. And like, I didn't have a whole lot of confidence, but I used her confidence to help me believe in myself. So, yeah, it was a really consistent season. And I was really proud of how I performed at nationals and I think the experiences from the previous years were very, very helpful in just understanding that, yeah, it is going to be scary and there's 250 people on the line all fighting for the same thing. A lot of the teams do very, very similar workouts. So it's like, find my 1% and what's special about me and what do I want to run for. And at the end of the day, when you find that, you're only going to, the sky's the limit.
Mhm. I'm curious, since you brought Kelsey up here, was that 10K at the Penn Relays?
I think, oh, that was also a big grind for her. But
Because I
I
because
think it was,
because I was
I
at the
think it
Penn
was,
Relays for that race. I remember watching that race.
yes, yeah. I mean, she's always a grinder. I think I was sitting in the stands. I just got injured and it was ACCs a few years ago. And I was like, wow, you are golden. You are the epitome of hard work. Let's get back and let's remember this moment and yeah, use it to propel me in a race.
Because like I said, you brought that up, and I'm like, I think Kelsey's first 10K or first race since nationals was the Penn
I
Relays
think it
in
was. Yeah.
2024.
With
Because I think it was her and Leah in that
and
race.
Leah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
That's
was a long
funny.
day
Yeah.
too. That race went really long into the night. I feel like we got out of there at like 11 o'clock at night or something, and I'm like, great, I got to be up at like 6 o'clock in the morning the next day for this meet. So
And it's always the last event.
yes, it really is. So,
Yeah.
but again, you talk about, the ability to, progress throughout the season, stay consistent. Then things kind of stop for you.
Yeah.
You have an injury during the track season and everything kind of
Mhm.
slows down.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that injury and how you how you sustained it and how you were able to, get better from it throughout that spring season.
Yeah, so I've had a few unfortunate hiccups, like I mentioned before, throughout my time here. And yeah, so I've had a few tibia issues, but this one was a sacrum injury. So I had come off like a pretty good um a pretty good indoor season. I was satisfied but ready to do bigger things in the outdoor, and we were kind of we were holding back because I really wanted to see what I could do in the 5K because I hadn't yet done anything in the 5K. And yeah, just so I traveled a little bit on the interim before Raleigh relays and um yeah, I picked up a little injury and that was such a shame because I was just ready to do some great things that season. But nonetheless, I put my head down and cross trained as hard as I could for I think it was 4 weeks, and I gave myself that timeline and I was just like every day I'm not going to enjoy it, but it's going to pay off in the future. And yeah, so I hit the pool and I hit the elliptical for for like 3 hours each day. And
Wow.
yeah, total. So no, not I could not be
I
in
was
the
going
pool
to
for
say
3
3 hours in
hours.
the pool and then
No.
3 hours on the elliptical. That's
Also,
dedication
Laurie would
there.
be listening to this. Laurie would be listening to this podcast like, Henny, you did what? um, yeah, so and I hated it. I hated every single moment, but
Mhm,
it made me realize that I really wanted to do the sport and I wanted to do the sport well and I wanted to show my potential. So,
mhm,
um, and then I went back home to New Zealand, so I used that kind of as a big reset, and it was really nice to just be able to focus on myself and stay in my own lane and kind of get off social media and block out running. Um,
mhm,
and yeah, it was kind of a nice little enclosure just being at home in the winter, your summer. Um, and Laurie and I had kind of mapped things out. So I was confident in the next few weeks of what it was gonna hold. But
mhm,
we had the idea of running national cross country as like a good post injury like base build to aim
mhm,
for. And it lined up really well. Like I think I'd been running on ground for maybe 4 weeks in New Zealand, so it wasn't flat and I got a lot of
mhm.
hills to train on. I live in a place called Rotorua. It's like it's beautiful and some really mountainous trails. Really whipped me into shape. So got to training and yeah, then we headed down to race New Zealand cross country, and I wanted to do it to qualify for Worlds, but also I hadn't raced for a while in New Zealand, and it's always nice. They
Mhm.
gave me so much, and a whole like a huge testament to them for my running career. So it's nice to kind of come back and show face again. And yeah, so I ran 10K cross country down down there, and it was a very long 10K. I will not be participating in 10K on the track, but I had to do that for Worlds. So yeah, I learned a lot, and it was, yeah, like I said, a really good stamp in the ground to see where I was kind of at. And then I flew out the next day or so to come back here. We'll come back. I went to visit my boyfriend and we did a few fun things before putting my head back down and training in Raleigh in the hot humidity, which yeah, is always tough, but it whips you into shape nicely.
Well, for those that don't know what Hannah ran, 35 minutes, 38 seconds, and she won by over 2 minutes at the New Zealand Cross Country Championships in her first race since indoor. You went in that race pretty much blind. Like, you did no idea what
Totally.
your where your fitness was going to be at. You didn't know what type of shape you were probably in. You probably didn't know what you could possibly do, and you go out and run a time like that on a what a course I assume is pretty hilly.
Yeah, this one was, yeah, it was a very interesting course. I remember being told the day before, "Oh, just watch out for that whole entire back stretch," which was like 500 meters. They just played rugby on it the day before, so it was like completely churned up. I was like, "Oh, that's wonderful. Let's change the spikes and let's put the long ones on." So yeah, it was actually
Curious,
two
how long were your spikes? How long were the
that
spikes?
they were long. I don't know what the length was. I
Are we
know I
talking like
borrowed
are we talking like half inch, quarter inch? What are we talking here?
I think they were 10 millimeters. So, like, I don't even know what that is. I don't
I
know the
can't do the math
conversion
right now. But anyways,
stations. But nonetheless, I borrowed them from someone who, yeah, kindly gave them to me. But it was 2 kilometer loop. So I had to do 5 of those. So already I was
so
like, oh my goodness, like, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? And Laurie told me, she's like, Hannah, we're just seeing where you're at. Like, don't go until you're at 8K. Like, let's just not. You wanna feel good and you wanna win this race and yeah, be confident coming off of it. We don't have expectations. And I think it was maybe 1.5Ks in where I was like, no, like, I'm just kind of gonna go for it and like see what I can
okay.
do. I have no idea. Like, I remember in that moment, I looked at my dad and I was like, what do I do? Like, I feel so good and yeah. So anyway, we did the whole thing pretty much by myself, and I learned a lot about myself. It was, yeah. Oh, no. It was not that exciting
Is
for
it
me,
chills?
but
Is it chills thinking about it? Back to it? Like, does it give you chills?
yes, because it was the longest race of my life, literally. And the thing that kept me going though was like all my friends had come down and my brothers lived down there. And their
Mhm.
girlfriends and families and so they gave me lots of motivation throughout the course. So it was a good experience in the end, but definitely a grind and now I kind of get a taste of what Grace deals with in the 10K. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, with that being said, I mean, is there a particular qualifier that you have to hit for the World Cross Country Championships, or is it, a little bit different than, having to make the World Indoor or the World Outdoor standards?
So the qualifier was either top, I think it was top two in the actual cross country race.
Mhm.
Otherwise, outside of that, I think you had to run something like high 32s in the 10K, and there was a 5K track qualifying mark. So
Okay, I was going to say 32 on a cross country course is
no,
very
no, no.
fast.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah. Just if I wasn't able to make the national cross country, there are other options for the
Mhm.
girls and guys. So, yeah, there's a fun group coming to Florida in January. So, I'm
Mhm.
really excited. It'll be a little bit of
Yeah.
an extended cross country season, but I can't complain. It's my favorite season. So,
So the last time you were at Appalachie, I think that's how it's pronounced in Tallahassee. When was that? You guys have because you guys haven't had a regional down there, or was it ACCs? It had been something
yeah, it was
recently.
ACC's. It was ACC's 2 years ago. Yeah, so we that was my sophomore year. It was one of my first races actually for cross country, and yeah, it was. I liked it. I mean, I was learning a lot of things and
Mhm.
how to navigate what to do in bigger races because New
Mhm.
Zealand races did not have half of like oh my god like 20, 30 people. So yeah, navigating big fields and confidence and yeah, belief in myself was a big part of that season. But I love the course and I'm really excited to get back out. I'm sure they're gonna throw in some hurdles there and make it as hard as they can still. So
There's
I
always going to be hay barrels. There might be, a river you might have to run through or
it'll be
something
a
like
river.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I remember the last World Championships, which I believe that was Australia,
Hmm.
couple years ago. I remember seeing hay barrels and just people had to like maneuver in and out. I remember watching some of the athletes actually like steeple over
Yeah.
the hay barrels themselves. So there's a lot of strategy you got to come up with here for the next couple of months
Yeah,
when we get
lot of
towards.
yeah, yeah, Australia, I heard there are a lot of things going on. Lots of people wiping out because of the heat. Yeah, so we'll see. I think I might have to do some sauna training or something. I guess it's in January, so Florida won't be too hot. But it'll come from summer, so it'll kind of be the perfect transition from New Zealand.
Hey,
So
I mean, granted, you live in North Carolina year round, basically, other than
yeah,
when you go home to New Zealand
yeah.
sometimes. I was in Florida last December,
Uh-huh.
and it was still pretty humid by my standards. But
Okay.
then again, I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so for me, that's a little different, probably the humidity compared to what you're used to during the summertime. So, but that course in Tallahassee has, been pretty good to the North Carolina State women over the years. I mean, whether it's
It's
winning that
yeah.
national title in 2021, ACC championships. I mean, it seems like you guys thrive on that course in Tallahassee. So there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to enjoy it as much. Speaking of worlds in general, New Zealand had a phenomenal time in Tokyo. I mean, let's not ignore Jordy Beamish in the
Yeah.
steeplechase. You got Maddie Lee Wesh doing her thing in the shot put. Tom Walsh,
Mhm.
the oldest on the team. It seems like he's
Yep.
never going to retire. But I also want to, talk about the fact that, there's young guys like Sam Tanner, Sam Ruth.
Uh-huh.
New Zealand is becoming a hotbed right now for athletics. Just your observations of what you've seen from, your fellow countrymen and countrywomen, and what they've been able to accomplish this year.
Yeah, yeah, we also had like I think a group of 3 or 4 pole vaulters who
Hmm.
represented New Zealand taking up half of that field. So, Yeah, really exciting times for New Zealand athletics. I think just the humble beginnings for sure, and
Mhm,
like I said, I mean our cross countries are very hardy cross countries. You're just kept honest all the
mhm.
time, and yeah, I feel like the progression for from high school, like a lot of our I'm speaking on behalf of the country, maybe I shouldn't do that, but,
Whole country's listening in, Hannah.
there's not a lot of elitism promoted, and I think that's really helpful. Just, I never knew really what any high school girls were doing in the US, and
Mhm,
I didn't really know where my time stood. I kind of just worked against my competition, enjoyed training, and kept it fun, and I think
mhm.
that's what is the key to a lot of New Zealand's success. Just slow beginnings, and it gives you that potential in the back end of your career to really be able to prosper.
I had the opportunity to go down to the Arcadia Invitational this year in Los Angeles, and a handful of New Zealand athletes made the trek over, including Sam Ruth.
Mhm.
His story is incredible. 3:58 as a
Oh
what
my gosh,
15-year-old,
yeah.
14-year-old miler. I mean, incredible story. But it seems like there's more opportunity now for New Zealand prep athletes to get the chance to come over to the United States, which is probably something that you didn't necessarily have when you were in high school. So
Yeah.
what's something you've seen of that, if you kind of paid attention to that? Because I'm sure you were aware that there were a handful of, New Zealand high school athletes in California this last year for Arcadia.
Yeah, I mean, I think these opportunities are really unique for New Zealanders, and it's important to take them up when you have them. Like I went to Oceania's when I was in high school, and just the world experience, even just going to Australia, it taught me so much how to race against
Mhm.
different competition, and switching up the stimulus is so fun. And sometimes there isn't a lot of competition in New Zealand, and you get that in places like the US, and now a lot of our high schools are coming here to study, and it's kind of a good benchmark to meet up at some of these meets in high school, find some friends in the running world and connect a little bit like that, and kind of scope out the place. So yeah, I would use it as an opportunity, and it's so cool to see all these New Zealanders also just committing to these colleges. It's really fun that the NCAA is able to do that, and believe in these young upcoming athletes, and taking the chance in them is really cool.
What do you remember about when you got recruited? Was that a home visit? Did you go to North Carolina? Did Lori come to New Zealand? Like, what was that experience like?
It yeah, absolutely was not the typical recruitment experience. I did this all through probably this camera, honestly. We did it all through Zoom, and it didn't make it easy, but I worked away. I kind of researched a lot, and did a lot of homework myself. I have this book at home, and I looked back at it the other month, and it's just like full of all these different ideas, and different factors that I was considering, and location and weather and coach and teammates, and it's definitely really hard doing it through Zoom. You don't really get a feel of the place, or the people, but at the end of the day, I felt a really deep connection with Lori, and she just had a very developmental mindset and approach towards me and my career, and it felt like she was really there to listen to me. So, and I really liked the girls, and also the weather was very important for me. I am from not such a cold place, so yeah, I was not gonna commit to Michigan or anywhere like that. So yeah, it was a stab in the dark, and I was kind of going into it blind, but after a little bit of settling in, I'm just so happy. So yeah, and it's only been a great experience, and I wouldn't change anything.
The good old Zoom COVID recruiting process. That's how it was back in 2020.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but again, we look, we're flash forwarding what for 5 years since that moment. You're in Raleigh. A chance now, another opportunity to continue to, not only grow your legacy, but continue to grow North Carolina State's legacy. And it starts, again this weekend at the Nuttycombe Invitational, which you guys haven't won a Nuttycombe title in a couple of years. Of course, that
Yep.
year you guys also won another national title there as well. But what's the excitement? I know we're going to see majority of the same women that were racing in Chicago, but sounds like Angelina Napoleon's going to get thrown in there after a quick turnaround from Worlds, and maybe we might see Grace Hartman in the lineup. We're not sure quite yet, but just talk about the expectations and the excitement to go back to Madison after, for you, it was kind of a breakthrough moment for you when you finished 8th at the national championships there last year.
Yeah, Nuttycombe's always a great honest course that I think NC State prospers off. We always love Nuttycombe, and it's really exciting kind of for some people the start of their seasons like Angelina and yeah, being able to work together. Hopefully, maybe we'll have Grace, we don't know, but as a full group like that, we're really able to see what we can do throughout the season and kind of just grow towards that and figure out different things that we can work on and little mental cues that we gain throughout the season. So yeah, we're really excited. And yeah, like Chicago, we just had a really fun time in Chicago. So hopefully we have a really fun time in Wisco and yeah, work hard together. I mean, my dad always told me there's no miracles on race day, and there's not. It's again intimidating. There will be a lot of people, and it's kind of my job and the older girls' job to calm the nerves of the young girls. But yeah, we're really excited to line up together and see what we can do, and then go back to the drawing board and get back to training, and then the postseason is coming up. So yeah, it'll be a great one, and yeah, we're all very ready. So
Blink of an eye will be Halloween, and you guys will be racing the ACC championships in Louisville, and
yeah.
heck, and then a couple weeks after that, you have the you guys' regional meet, and then of course the NCAA championships.
Mhm.
But this weekend's going to feel like a national championship meet with the amount of ranked teams that are going to be on the starting line this week. So for you guys, I know I may have kind of already asked this, but like, what do you want to take away from a race like this? How do you guys want to progress? Moving forward as I said, build into the ACC championships, and then get prepared for the rest of the postseason.
Yeah. I think it's all about finding people and grouping up. I think that's what we really do well as a team, and we struggled with it last year, just with different abilities and different learnings. And I think people have really taken away that we really do need to group up, and that's how we really do well, kind of picking off people as twos and threes. And yeah, there's some really wonderful groups forming in training, and hopefully the girls can take confidence in their really hard work that they've been putting into to practice every single day, and finding inspiration in that, and keeping calm while there's a lot going on in the race. It's a really good practice for nationals, and I think that's why we always come to Nuttycombe. It's just you never really know where you are, and if you're a first time running that course, it's like, oh, there's a lot of different factors. Like we're going around again, and then we're cutting through half of it, and just being aware of your surroundings and staying calm and in motion is the main thing. And then yeah, we'll kind of see how we go there, and then get into ACCs. And yeah, I think so. We're in Louisville for ACCs. I believe it's going to be a flat course, so that'll be kind of another good reset practice for nationals. And then yeah, hopefully we can kill it there and work together still, and yeah, see what the rest of the season holds.
Road to Columbia makes a stop in Madison this weekend for the Nuttycombe Invitational. And of course, you can watch that all on runnerspace Plus and Big Ten Plus. Hannah Gapes and North Carolina State women looking to see if they can keep their momentum rolling here in this cross country season. Hannah, really appreciate your time. Safe travels from Raleigh to Madison this week. Look forward to seeing what you and the rest of the Wolfpack women do this week at the Nuttycombe Invitational. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.